Good morning, everyone. Right, the drill, you know it. I've already done it. Been out, done my walk, prepping food for the morning, for the day. Obviously, this is my food prepped. Now, I eat the same thing all the time. Some people don't like eating the same thing all the time. It works for me. I digest it well. It ticks all the boxes. I know where I'm going to be with my weight when I step on the scales each day. And also, if I do want to eat off plan, like an off plan meal, then I know where I can manipulate things. But some people obviously like a bit of variety, and that's why I always say to people when they're coming in to sign up as a client, tell me what food you like, what you eat on a daily, and then with that we can sort of like manage it. And then also going through that, I'll ask them like, how's the food going? You enjoying it? You want me to change anything? And majority of the time people say no, everything's fine. The best thing is be honest and say, no, actually I fancy this or I fancy that. Because if you're not and you're getting bored of eating what you're eating, then you're more likely to cheat, and then you're more likely not to tell your coach. And you'll say, yeah, everything's fine, but your coach is seeing your thing going up and down, and then you're thinking, well, I'm staying on the same foods all the time, because he knows you're not sticking to it. So indirectly, by him not changing your foods, he needs to see first that there's a linear going down or there's a linear going up. If there's a linear going up, then obviously you know you need to change your meals, etc. There's a reason there. But if it's going up and down, he knows the issue is not the diet, the issue is the client. And as they say, you can get the best coach and the worst client, and it won't work the diet way. But you can get like someone, a not very good coach, and the best client with not even the best diet, but it's consistent, and they'll see better results. So remember, consistency is key. So with that, this video, how can I have a sandwich, or how can I make a sandwich? Well, Chantel says, look, I just really want a sandwich. Now, she has done amazing, to be fair. She's lost 20 centimetres around everywhere. And we're talking stones. She's lost stones, and the noticeably of it is in the face. Now, she wants a sandwich. Okay, yeah, you can have a sandwich if you tell your coach, or if you tell. Obviously, I'm a partner, so she gets the benefits. So she says, "Oh, I want a sandwich." Okay, we can have a sandwich, right? So this is how we go with sandwich. I brought these fancy scales as well. These coarse Cosori ones. I had some other ones, some Salter ones, which is standard ones. And I bought them years ago for about 10 quid. And they've lasted me probably about 10, 15 years. With me, I don't need these fancy scales, because I just like, I know my weights and stuff like that. You pull me up any time of the day and say, Lee, this day, this meal, what are you eating? I can not only tell you what I'm eating, I can tell you what the weights are. A lot of people will say to me, they'll say, obviously, especially over the bank holiday when they've seen me out, they'll ask me about diet and stuff, and I'll say, oh, how much protein you eating? I'm just eating. They don't know. They ain't got a clue. So with that, if you don't know and you're guessing, remember, guesswork don't work. So with these ones, these Cosori ones, they're pretty good actually. It says if you have My Fitness Pal apps and stuff like that, where's my phone? Right in front of me. But if you've got My Fitness Pal apps and stuff like that, and you want to really start learning about macros, about protein, fats and carbs, this can sort of teach you, because this has got absolutely everything on there for every single bit of food you put on. So if you get, say, your bread, and you say scan your bread, and then I've already got this bread in here because I've already made this sandwich for Chantel. So it says lunch. So if I look through and I look for where it is, 50/50 bread, I click on that. That's on 0. That's on 0, as you can see. I don't know if you can see it very well. It says 0. Like that, tells you the calories or whatever. Now, as soon as I put this bread on, let's put a plate on there first, because we don't want to go out. So push that on 0. 0. All right. So you don't get your scales dirty, and you get your bread, and you put your bread on. That now has gone on to, I'll turn the phone back on, there. It says 78 grams, and it tells you how many calories. Then all you do is press add, and that's a meal. So once you've done that all the time, you can build up your same meal. If you got My Fitness Pal, you do a similar sort of thing, but with that you have to input the weights or find what people put. With this, you just put it on there and you know each time. Once you've done your sandwich, you can log it. I mean, and that's like I say, it's consistently. So if you're consistently doing the same thing, And the better you get at it and eating the same thing, you don't have to go through all this palaver. You just know it off by heart. It's just like second nature. You can just like put this on, put that on. I go 200 grams of chicken, 200 grams of potatoes, 150 grams of sweet potato, 200 grams of prawns, 85 grams of rice, 200 grams of fish, 80 grams of cream of rice, etc, etc. To me, it just becomes second nature. Now, at the weekend, maybe I would be eating something a little bit off or a little bit different. So then I can probably have to look at like how the calories are going to work, so I can manipulate things. So I can have like one off-plan meal, or like a meal, one meal, or is not going to ruin your week, right? You can get on scales every single day, which I do anyway, and you'll see your weights change. I could probably put a photo on of my weights and how they change now. But you can go on the scales every single day and see how your weights, because your weights can change through lots of different things. With women, obviously, for going for the time of the month. With men, obviously, and sleep for women, sleep for men, stress, exercise. If you've done really heavy exercise, obviously, with your muscles repairing, with the produces water, produces more weight, or holds on to water, should I say. But right, let's get back to this sandwich, because this I could just go into a totally different tangent, which I don't want to do in this video. Will go on for too long and people will be like, oh my god, he's just jabbering on again. So right, so we've got the sandwich. We know that's at 78 grams for that. So then we'll press 0 again on there. So that's your plate on there. Then we'll look for what we're going to put on that. Now, with sandwiches, I don't really go for butter. People are going to be like petrified, like, not petrified, that's the wrong word, but they're going to be like horrified that I'm not putting butter on. But I don't tend to go for butter. Chantal probably would be mad about this because she loves butter, but I made this sandwich a few times and she's not even said anything about butter, so it must work. Alright, with jacket potatoes, I don't have butter on jacket potatoes. It's just saturated fat, it's unnecessary fat. I'm not saying, people say, oh, fat, this thing is good for you. But yeah, but it depends. Healthy fats and where you put those fats. So with this, with mayo, I put 10 grams of mayonnaise on. There you go, 10 grams of mayonnaise. And I get the knife, then I'll spread the mayo on like butter over. Now 10 grams is plenty for a sandwich. Yeah, and it just gives you that moistness that you might want for your sandwich. Alright, then I'm going for our next topping, which is ham. Now I've already got all this in there, so with this sandwich there's no point going through, so that's already on there, so I can go back onto here, add, and it's there, cooked ham, set that to 0. But with this, I'm not going to go crazy, because obviously every single slice of this ham is not going to be to the absolute gram, but as long as we're having a consistent slice, not a problem. So that's off the bone ham, that's gone straight on there. And then we're going for some cherry tomatoes. Now, when it comes to a sandwich, load it up with salad, load it up with lettuce, load it up with cucumber, load it up with tomatoes. If you like that kind of thing, I can't stand it, but other people do. So load it up. If you want to get it in there, you want to get it, fills you up, you get that, you get as much as that in there as you like. So we turn that off. Now, with this really, cucumber and cherry tomatoes, I wouldn't bother weighing it. Just obviously put yourself, like I says, how much you'd like on a sandwich. Simple as that. So I'll just spread this about on a sandwich, as so. Now I love these tomatoes. These are from Costco, and they're a medley, what they're called, let's get it right. Gourmet medley tomatoes. Thing about Costco is the food from there and the quality and how long it lasts. Like you get something from the supermarket, you put it in the fridge, after a week, sometimes not even a week, it's like gone mouldy. You get stuff from Costco, that's it. I mean, I get this big tub here of tomatoes and that'll last me 2 weeks and they're still good. I'm going to do a shop anyway, probably at Costco and wherever else I go, so you can get a gist of what I buy and that buy, if you're interested or not. You might not be interested, but I'll do it anyway. So yeah, tomatoes on there, and then we'll go for a bit of cucumber, because tomato and cucumber is what she requested. Ham, tomato and cucumber. Now sometimes I put cheese on there, like everything, as long as it's accounted for, you can have it and you can get free for your calories for the day. You have to build a diet or foods that you know you can eat, because really you've got to eat a certain set of meals consistently for a while so you can gauge the results. You can't have different meals every single day because then you don't know what's working, you don't know what's going wrong. So, but if you're consistently eating the same meals, then you think, oh, it might be that, it might be this, so you'll take that out and you adjust that. So that's the best way to manage your diet. So yeah, with that, that's the sandwich done. I'll put a fresh bit of bread there because that one's on the top so it don't feel as fresh. So, and there we go. So, sandwich. That is one sandwich done. And that is 320 calories. That's come out as 320 calories for that. Now, oh, why don't you go get a meal deal one? You could do. You could go get one from a meal deal if you want to pay the money every day. You can go get a meal deal unless if you don't got the time to build your own. And obviously, you just have to track the calories in. The calories on them are not guaranteed though. They're not as systematic as what we are with weighing the foods out, so they might fluctuate a little bit, but they'll be thereabouts. So like I said before, if you're consistently eating it the same, then you'll probably be okay and you will be able to manage it. But if you're not and you're eating other things all over the place and adding them in, then you will make it difficult and you won't know what's going wrong, and you'll be moaning saying, flipping out, I've been doing so well, I've been eating this and I've been eating that, and I just feel like I'm not getting anywhere. The thing is, what I say really as well, you cannot outwork a bad diet. Yeah, so some people I think, well, I've done 20,000 steps a day, so I can have this, I can have that. But that's just that day. What about the week? It's same with calories. Like like I said before, one bad meal is not going to ruin your week, because going on for your meals on the other week, you might be like eating under a little bit, so it compensates for it. You'll put yourself under. Everybody's different. Chantel, she don't do any exercise really. Well, she does a bit. She tries to do as much as she wants. That's not from her own choice. Probably get myself in trouble here. But that is not from her own choice. Obviously, she's a beautician. She works in the salon all day. She's got people coming in and out, coming in and out from like first thing in the morning. Sometimes she works up to like 8, 9 o'clock at night. So with her, like, to get any steps on it, sometimes she struggles with meals. That's why I have to try and make quick meals that she can come and grab. Because as soon as she's eating a meal, someone's banging on the door for them to let them in. And then obviously with going to the gym, she don't get time to go to the gym. So you've got two things you can take it away from. You can either cut your calories or you can raise your expenditure. So if your expenditure ain't very high, then obviously you have to come after your calories so you don't get as much food as what someone who eats a lot of food. But sometimes it just goes to where you are genetically as well. I mean, I've got clients who are on nearly 3,000 calories and they're losing weight, and I'm like I'm on like 2,000 calories, or about 2,200 calories. And I'm getting up in the morning, as you see, doing my walks. I'm going to the gym, doing my hour and a half in the gym. I'm on the treadmill on the Incliner 14, a free, like stomping on that, and I'm eating exactly the same meals clean. And like, yes, I do lose weight, but if I slip off my diet, I know the difference. Like, so what happens if I'm going through the week and then at the weekend I'll have a few little treats and little cheats, and obviously I'll be losing that progress I've made through the week. If I'm linear through the whole week, it'll literally go down each week. Like last week, I've got 8 weeks summer holiday now, so conditions really coming in, so I was literally hammering my diet to a T, not doing anything, like eating everything to a T, hitting my cardio, hitting my training, and every day my weight was coming down. Then yesterday I was at my lowest weight woke up Saturday morning at my lowest weight, which is consistently going lower anyway. I was at like 235 pounds when I come back from Australia, and I'm down to like, I weighed in at 205 pounds, so I've lost 25 pounds, which is, you'd say, oh, it is good, but I'm still not in the condition where I want to be, because with me it's just like, I just love the progression and the chase of getting in. And also I set the benchmark, you might have seen it on my page, that's my benchmark, and that is a look I'm chasing, and I'm not there yet, so I'm going to keep on pushing. Right, where was I? Went on another bit of a tangent then, wasn't I? So yeah, but when I weighed myself, obviously I've been bang on through the week, and then yesterday I had a jacket potato. I ate my meals through the day, then my last meal I had a jacket potato, a big jacket potato. I had loads of chili con carne on it, and then my son done like a cookie dough pot thing. made me a cookie dough pot thing. I ate that, and he didn't finish his, so I ate that as well. And I woke up this morning, I'm 1.5 pound heavier. Is that fat? No. Are you going to gain 1 to 2 pound fat the next day? No. It's going to be water. It's going to be glycogen, because obviously you've filled up your muscles with like the food that you don't normally have. I mean, on Saturday, I've been working at the weekend. I worked Saturday and Sunday as well. And I was just grafting all day, and I had a jack potato on the Saturday, which I'd never normally have from a jack potato, and I had to have one for ages. And I popped over there, and someone was like, "Oh, should I have a jack potato?" Because he'd come to work with me. I was like, "Yeah, okay, let's go over there." I thought, "Oh, I'll have one." So I had a jack potato. I had a tuna jack potato with double tuna and mayo. And I tell you what, it was amazing, and it didn't affect me. The next day, I woke up sound, and obviously, like I say, at my lowest weight. I've weighed myself this morning, and now I'm a pound up. So I am a pound up from my lowest weight, but last week when I was hit where I am on the Monday, because obviously I can track through my days where I am, so I go on an average. Normally you can go from right around your Wednesdays, because if you're not being bang on your weekend, you start to balance where you are on a Wednesday. Because you say if you're bad on a weekend, you'll see the weight change on the Monday or the Tuesday, where it starts catching up on you. And if you're doing that every week, each weekend, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to be chasing it and chasing it and chasing it. So right, so sandwich. So Chantel's meal would be sandwich. There we go. Some lentil sea salt crisps, and then a light and free tree yogurt. Light and free yogurt. I mean, they're really good. They're only 50 calories. So that would be at lunch. Breakfast, she has porridge for her breakfast. She was having scrambled egg, which she getting bored of that, so I've moved off that. So she's gone to porridge. She's doing really well, so we can move her things around. And then she's got that for a dinner. She's also got a medley selection of fruit snack on, because sometimes she needs something in the drawer, so she can't come in and get any food. So it's just like she'll have like a banana, or she'll have like that, or she'll have a pear or something, just some fruit to eat. And then jacket potato, tuna jacket potato. And another thing you have is these like counted meals. Now, if you're like struggling with, obviously another thing, if you're struggling with what meals to make, or you want a bit of variety, Morrison's do these things called counted, and they're ready meals, and they're up to like 300 calories. So around that, but even if you can get some My Protein do ones up to 400 calories, it's all incorporated into your diet and tracking. So whatever your calories are, you can build your plan. So once you build your meals around your calories, then you can eat whatever you want. Yeah, only when, especially lifestyle clients, you can get away with it. You know what I mean? We're just trying to lose weight. We're not going to step on stage. You're not going to competition. So you've got a lot more leeway than what you have than someone's going to competition. Someone's going to go into competitions or stuff like that, they have to eat more like I do. And then obviously if they're building muscle and etc., and then we've got to start looking at the proteins, the fats and the carbs, and then the manipulations, obviously carb cycling, etc. Your off days with your low fats, and then where you'll have a higher fats and you'll have a lower carbs. But obviously the fats helps you to not be as hungry, because it holds back satiety. And then obviously when you have your training days, when you want to bring on a muscle group, you'll lower your fats and you'll higher your carbs. There's lots of different like little tricks and stuff in there for manipulations and stuff. But doing lifestyle clients, you don't. You just need to stick to the basics. Stick to the basics of build yourselves foods that you consistently eat without wanting to cheat. That is it. Yeah. And then with that, you'll have success, because you've got to be honest to yourself. And if you're not honest to yourself, how are you going to be honest to your coach or anyone else? And that's a big thing. Just be honest. Yeah. If you be honest and everyone knows what's going on, it's all right. Because otherwise, we know anyway. We can see it. Won't pull you up on it, because it's just like sometimes you like sort of like give like a little inclination and say, look, come on this week. Let's push on this week. Let's really try and dig in and hit the targets, stuff like I do a habit tracker. And when they do that, literally the next week, they've lost weight. So they can do it. It's just, you know what I mean? It's finding that thing. So finding those foods that you enjoy, that diet you enjoy, that's something that you can stick with. And then with that, consistency brings results. So can you have food like this rather than food like this? Yes, of course you can. All dependent on your goals and all dependent on where you are. And all we want is enjoyment, and all we want is for you to get results and be happy and I'm happy and everybody's happy. And that's all it's about, being happy. Yeah, you're only doing it to make yourself happy. If it don't make you happy, don't do it. Simple as. Alright, that's it, people. So I'm going to crack on getting ready with the rest of this food. It is Monday, and have an amazing week, and I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye, people.